The new channel. The new channel. Hashtag TNCNow.
The views, opinions, and insights expressed in the following shows are those of the host, producers, guests, and viewers. They do not necessarily reflect the position of the channel. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hi, happy Monday, and welcome to TNC. Our passion transforms a community that sees all things new. My name is Alex, and I am streaming live from Binangonan, Rizal, and this is UTurn on TNC. Hello again, everyone. It's a Monday morning, and we are here again in UTurn on TNC. My name is Alex. I am your host, and again, let us start. Let us help you start your week right. Just want to greet my family in Cainta Rizal, here in Binangonan, my kids, my mom, my husband. Hello, and to all our viewers. Also to CICP members, hello guys, how are you doing? To my doctors, hello po. And for our today's episode, someone that is joining me is, well, technically he is my boss, but I more of treat him as a friend and slash a big brother to me. He's been helping me all throughout my journey with this illness that I have, and most of the time we hear him talk about the work that he's done for the community, for the creators and influencers platforms. But today we will know more about of him personally. So he is an OG executive producer, creator of Paperbug TV and Bogart the Explorer. And he is the president-elect of Creator and Influencer Council of the Philippines. Let us all welcome Mr. Jako de Leon.
Hey Alex.
Hi, Jaco. Good morning.
Wow, congrats sa show. Ano, balita?
Nakakaloka. Ini-interview ko yung ano, i-interviewin ko yung boss ko para ma-impress ko siya lalo.
And then no, I think to be honest, ano naman ako like very impressed naman ako with you ever since naman. I mean, I think yeah, I'm pretty sure you've shared your struggles and in this show already, diba? And so everybody knows that. But I guess safe to say, parang not a lot of people know it the way I would have known it, right? Because nakita ko talaga the
Yeah.
everything basically, diba? The way na nag-cross yung paths natin for this, and to see you hosting your own show, 'di ba? It's actually very nakaka-proud, 'di ba? Nakaka-proud, I guess is the unusual word for it. So congratulations.
Yeah, we've met in a very unexpected way. We met through a common person, and then it just clicked. Parang after that gig with a common person we know, we worked together. So so
Yeah.
basically, as I have said, most of us, we hear you talk about the creators, influencers, platforms, the work that you've done for the business. But today,
Yeah.
we would like to know more about you personally. So a little bit,
Go lang.
of from the life of Jaco. So yeah,
Yeah.
let me give our viewers a glimpse of who you are as Jaco de Leon, especially during your younger years. Are you always like a scary kid na sobrang bait, or medyo may pagkapasaway ba?
You know what? May kid na rin ako now, so I have a son now. Si Jacob, and I'm sure you've seen him a couple of times na rin. Uh, Medyo split image ko siya eh. Pero like talagang kamukha ko siya as a kid. Pero I can safely say hindi ako ganun kagulo. I think I know I was a good kid. I think my parents really brought me up the way in a really good way, and I was a very very kind, very quiet kid, very friendly then. But at the end of the day, I think that's where my kindness as a person really grew. Kasi nung kid pa lang ako, my parents would always teach me all the good values and moral values to be a good human being, I guess, diba? And then siguro when I was a kid, I was already very artistic, creative. I already found yung creativity ko very young. And un, I guess usual naman to. Naiba lang yung path ko. I went into the sciences. I wanted to be a doctor. Siguro in a way to
Oh.
avoid the creative path, even though I was naturally gifted with it, I guess. Kasi siguro I didn't want to be in the field na my dad was in. Diba? So, but yeah, no, it's something naman na, I guess as a kid naman, it's pretty, we were very fortunate to have everything we needed. My dad worked hard para we had everything that was provided for us. So we're very blessed in that regard, diba?
Yeah, yeah, I can agree to that. And speaking of your dad, the Master Henyo, Mr. Joey De Leon, I would also like to ask, how is it to be his son? Like the pros and the cons. Have you ever used it like, advantage na, oh, anak akong Joey De Leon, I should be, first in line and all that.
Yeah, no. Actually, my dad taught us the opposite. I remember we were, I think we were very young, and we travel a lot. And my dad would always point out there's this really parang well-off family in the Philippines, and he was saying na oh sila nga yung kids nila, they take coach, they take economy.
Mhm.
And he was saying that he always didn't want to use he always taught us not to use our privilege and take advantage of it. um,
Mhm.
I mean, syempre in the emergency sense, you have that, pero in general, we always were raised the right way, na we shouldn't be using that. Pero you know what, up to the day, even though kaya kong gawin, I never really went out there. Syempre proud ako sa dad ko, di ba? Pero I don't go out there going like, oh, hindi, anak ako ni ganyan or whatever. My
Mhm.
peers, my colleagues actually make it a running gag na nga eh, na parang when they introduce me, they say, oh, si OG content creator, executive producer, and anak ni
Mhm.
Joey De Leon, as a joke na. Um,
Yeah.
but me personally, never. Although I've always seen minsan what I would do for meetings when I was starting out was, kasi wala eh, bata kami noon eh. Like I was 20
Mhm.
23, 22, and I'm trying to get into meetings with, big companies, big agencies. What I discovered was, syempre may advantage, di ba? But I didn't want to take advantage of
Mhm.
it that much. So what ang ginagawa ko nun, yung wallpaper ng laptop ko, family picture. Which is to be fair, family picture talaga. Nagkataon lang
Yeah.
the client at the end of the meeting, at the end of the presentation, biglang nagtanong, kaano-ano mo si Joey De Leon? Sabi sa akin. Sabi ko, daddy ko
Mhm.
po. Talaga? And then, like, I see the mood change kasi apparently,
Mhm.
like, he was a big fan, etc., etc. Um, so there are advantages, pero we were taught not to exploit it in that sense, lalo na for our
Mhm.
own gain. But I'm very
Mhm.
proud of my dad. As to answer your first question, how is it like growing up with Joey De Leon as a dad? It's just like any other dad. Yun yung reality ko eh. Kumbaga, I was born with that reality. That was my world, right? So I was born into may Bulaga na. That was 1980 something. Diba? So meron ng Bulaga, school bukol was there. My dad was doing movies. It was the norm eh. So I would say that it's like growing up with any other kind of dad. As long as your dad's a good father, diba? Like, what he does
Mhm.
becomes second nature na lang eh. It wasn't something na I thought any different as any other kid's dad would be. But yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, the advantages, if it comes naturally, it's okay. Pero it's very good to know na you were raised na you were told na, oh, even though we are known in the industry, we are a well-off family, you shouldn't be taking advantage of that for your own gain. And that's very, very impressive. That's a very good, that's a very good way of raising your kids as much as possible. I ako man akong iaano sa mga kids ko, but that's what I tell them eh. Parang you don't take advantage of anything. If it comes to you naturally, then you say thank you to it. But don't,
Yeah, yeah.
huwag mong kusain
If
na
it comes
gawin mo.
naturally, kunwari, di ba? If they offer, di ba? I'm like, okay.
Mm.
But
Yeah, why
it's
not?
something na, why not, di ba? Like, but honestly, like, I'm very proud of my dad, and I think I don't say that enough na, one thing na natutunan ko in the industry as I grew up, as people discovered it, was how much then that he's uh, how many lives that he's touched over the years, and how many people would go up to me and tell me these stories, lalo na business owners na I met early on in my career, who told me how much he's helped them, and I don't even know those stories, diba? Like, I just knew it from the people that he helped,
Mm.
or people that he's worked with, or people that looked up to him, and that's something na I think
Yeah.
it stuck with me, diba? Na parang yung dad ko nga, parang, oh, he did a lot for his industry, without really putting it out there, because not a lot of people know that, diba? But a lot of the people that I get to
Yeah.
speak to, they would say that. They would say na, oh, you know what, yung dad mo, tinulungan ako no early on. Ito yung story. Ito yung ganito. So, yeah.
That's very good to know. And earlier, initially, parang you were planning to be a doctor or you wanted to be a doctor. But now we see you in this industry and you are doing very great. Now that you've aged a bit, what changes in your outlook in life or plans and goals?
I think that I was a little bit more, when I started, again, I started out very young. Lalo na in the industry, in this industry, I started very young. Um, I thought, parang I always had my head in the clouds. Eh. I wanted to do everything that has never been done, lalo na in the creative space, because it's a new space, the content space when I started. We wanted to do everything, and walang preno, kumbaga, just go there. I think when I started
Mm-hmm.
becoming a dad, when I had my son, then I realized I had to have my feet on the ground naman. So, if there's anything, it kind of tapered it off, pero not the creativity. I think, the idea is to have your head in the clouds, pero your feet on the ground at the same time. And figuring out na you can do anything you want, pero at the same time, there are may overhead ka na. You have people to look after. You gotta make sure people are okay before you are. Um, Kumbaga, meron kang merong may limits to the infiniteness of it all. And siguro one other thing is that you take time to uh, really, really enjoy the little things. Kasi when you're working really hard, minsan you don't. You really forget na may mga little things that you should be proud of. Dati parang if I have to do something, unless it hits certain number, I'm really not impressed with it. Now I'm happy with even just small amounts and whatnot. Kasi minsan yung happiness mo nandun sa little thing hindi naman nandun sa bigger thing. So yeah,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
And yun nga, tulad ng sabi ko before, if you are really more focused on the tangible things, the things that are around you, there are really chances na male-let go mo or hindi mo mano-notice yung even little things na sobra palang nagma-matter na ginagawa mo or
Correct.
ginagawa ng someone for you. So, you really have to have that that sense na parang you still have to be aware of the things, and if something in your life changed, if something in your life happened, it's like you're suddenly very much aware of everything in your environment na parang lahat pala nagma-matter sa'yo, even little things na ginagawa for you. So, yeah, Jaco, if you can say something or if you can tell us any story that you can consider is your life's turning point, what would that be?
I think siguro, you'd have to go back to um, like the super early days na I was pre-med, and I went back to the Philippines, um, still on that track, and fresh out of college. And someone asked me, meron akong friend or family member that wants to do production, that wants to go into TV that time. Sabi niya, marunong ka ba mag-produce? Sabi sa akin. Ako naman, hindi naman ako marunong mag-produce, pero I took on the challenge and I said like, yeah, kaya ko yan, kaya ko gawin yan. Even though wala akong alam in that, I just thought na, I can learn it if I give myself enough time. Um, and I think yun yung turning point of my career, because I was very, when I was young, I parang ang dami kong good ideas palagi. Palagi akong ganun eh. Ako palagi maraming ideas na kid, pero hindi ko sinasabi o hindi ko siya sinusulat o hindi ko siya ginagawa. It was always like,
Mhm.
pagtapos na, sabihin ko, ay sayang, alam mo, ito sana yung ginawa mo, or sana ito ganito.
Mhm.
So I never was vocal with something na I saw, even though I saw it can be, really nice or really effective
Mhm.
as a show content, whatever. Um, so that moment, really early on, was my first ever production. It was called Front Act. And Sir Nelson, who's one of my earliest mentors on it, like he really um, allowed us to do anything we want with the show, and he trusted us completely. Um, and so we were able to do that show, and that show was pretty much the show where you find Bogart the Explorer. You find a lot of things that I do now, but on TV. Naisip na namin magiging medyo ganito
Mhm.
yung world na short videos, mga ganun. So our show, sabi ko, sige, let's make the show puro short formats, pero in one TV show. At that time, this was 2009, I think. Um, so it gave me the opportunity to create, and even though the show ended mga 5 seasons later. We were able to do Bogart the Explorer. And yung Bogart the Explorer na yun
Yeah.
started on TV. People don't know that. A lot of people don't know that. It started on TV. And when we put it out online a few years later, nagsaka siya viral, and that was basically the
Yeah.
start of it all for all our careers. Everyone that's there. So I would say that was the turning point. Talaga being able to say yes even though I wasn't 100% ready. Minsan you have to um, you have to begin before you're ready. And then that's the way of life, 'di ba?
Yeah.
Parang pag inintay mo hanggang tapos ka,
Yeah,
like
it's
sobrang
actually
ready ka.
parang ano nga eh, parang life nga daw is the hardest teacher kasi it gives you the test first before the lesson.
Yeah, yeah, and even with that, it was more for me. How can you can learn everything. You learn from the mistakes. You learn best from that. So kahit gaano ka perfect with it, minsan if you're good enough and you think you're good enough and you put your mind to it, you'll get there. And I ran into a lot of humps along that way, pero I wouldn't be anywhere today if I didn't say, okay, I could do it. Diba? Like if I didn't
Yeah.
say that a
If
long
you
time
didn't
ago,
start, okay.
you know, yeah.
Yeah. So now we can see that you are doing really great in this industry, in this business. A lot of creators and influencers, and you are still producing good content online. How long do you plan to do what you do now, and what do you see is the future of this industry?
The industry is very young. It's a very bright. The future is very bright. Um, I think the lucky thing for me was that I was able to see it for what it is a long time ago, and I realized how important the digital industry is and how it would be moving forward. And true enough, we're doing shows like this, diba? We have the opportunity for everyone to be able to have a shot at having their own show, have telling their own stories, and I saw that very very early on. So, very fortunate to be a part of it. As to how long am I gonna do it, I guess I've always liked producing, so it doesn't matter if it was for TV back then, digital. I love creating it. I love sharing stories, creating stories. I enjoy
Mm.
helping people. Um, doesn't matter if it was during the time of TV, digital, or whatnot. I think it was something na nag-change lang yung medium eh. The way the message is being delivered
Mm.
has
Yeah.
changed. Pero the way the message itself is the same, diba? You have to be if you have more than what you have, you build longer tables instead of higher walls. Um, if you if you're creative and you want to share a story, write it, get a camera, get your phone, shoot it, tell that story, share that story, because someone somewhere will be touched with that story, and hopefully that helps someone out. Yun nga, the message doesn't change. The medium switches around. Nag-TV, nag-YouTube. Na yun, nasa live stream tayo, Facebook. Whether that would be
Mhm.
TikTok eventually, or some other platform, or a new platform. You have Web.3 coming up, all these other things. Um, as long as yung heart mo is in the right place, and your creativity is solid, you will find an audience. And as for me, as long as there's an audience to appreciate what I do, then I guess that's I'll keep doing that.
Yeah, that's very good to know. So, marami pa po tayong makikita po. Matagal pa natin siyang makakasama. Maraming
Hopefully.
marami pa siyang ideas na ilalabas para sa atin. So, um, before, kasi it's almost 30 minutes. So, napakabilis ng ating kwentuhan. Napakaganda ng mga topics na pag-uusapan natin. But before I let you go, go before I wrap this baby up, I would like to ask for your message for our colleagues in this industry and then your message to your family and your loved ones.
I guess in a nutshell, I'm very grateful. So I guess it's not really a message for them. It's more like a thank you to the community, the industry. Sorry, marinig ko si Jacob na ingay. Uh, to my family, it's a thank you. I wouldn't have had anything really without their guidance and their help and all that. Syempre to my son and my wife and their inspiration to me. The community is an inspiration for me. um, the community and the rest of the digital industry really gave me a purpose, and showed to me what my purpose is, and I am very grateful for that. So thank you to everyone, and thank you to you, Alex, as well. Diba? I mean, hindi naman every day I get to talk about it, and reflect on my career, or my upbringing or whatever,
Mhm.
diba? Kasi I kind of just move along. So these are great shows to have, so that you can really appreciate what you've done. Then looking back, lalo na tomorrow we have an induction of new officers for the CICP. So for the community, if you
Yeah.
guys haven't checked it out, we do have accounts. So we do have an organization for creators, the creator economy and the creator industry. Do check it out. We do have a lot of plans for that one.
Yeah, and yes, as mentioned, tomorrow we have an induction where President-elect Jako de Leon will be will be officially named as the President of Creators and Influencer Council of the Philippines for 2023, and other
Mm,
officers as well too, and the board of directors. So it's a good event to to socialize with everyone, to get to know more of the industry and the people inside it. So yeah, basically CICP, we will see you there. And Jaco, again, thank you so much for agreeing to be my guest and letting my
of
viewers
course.
know a little bit about your personal life. Kasi as I've said, talagang nakikita ka namin CNN and other networks na in-interview ka. But most of the time, the questions and that you talk about are about the industry, the business, the things that you do. And for me, there is always, something beyond eh, na parang that we deserve to know then, that you deserve to tell us na parang you are more than that. You are more than a creator. You are more than an
Thank you.
executive producer. As I have said, talagang tong guy na to talagang ever since we knew each other, all out support yan sa akin. Me and my family can thank him enough. Parang words are never going to be enough for us to thank him. And yeah, so guys, girls, mga kapitbahay, maraming salamat po ulit sa pagsama niyo sa akin today. On a Monday morning, 10 a.m. Every Monday morning, 10 a.m. here in the new channel, we have U-Turn, and we are telling meaningful and hopeful stories that will help you reflect and start your week right. So, before I go ahead and wrap this baby up, I want to leave you something to reflect on for the whole week. So, this is something that I always tell myself as well. Whatever you do and whatever you put out in the world, it will always come back to you in tenfolds. So, yeah, let's go ahead and reflect on that and think about everything. Be positive, be happy, live your life to the fullest, and love everyone around you. Again, thank you so much for joining me today. This is Alex, your host, and this is U Turn on TNC.